Colbert isn't the tip of the spear when it comes to being anti-MAGA.
Colbert is much worse than them. I mean, in terms of just rhetoric.
I don't agree. I think there's other more relevant people you could go after.
Norah O'Donnell doesn't say F you to the president.
I'm Lydia Moynihan, financial reporter for the New York Post, and each week, Post columnist and Vox business correspondent Charles Gasparino and I cut through the noise and dive straight into the biggest stories shaping business, tech, and politics. What's moving markets, what's happening in Silicon Valley, and what's driving decisions in D.C. Whether you're on Wall Street, Main Street, or just trying to keep up, this is where business, tech, and politics intersect, and we're not afraid to ask the tough questions. Okay, earlier this week, I went to D.C. I was there for Trump's speech where he outlines this new AI vision, but the whole thing was really interesting because it's an extension of sort of this detente now sort of allyship between Silicon Valley and the Republican Party.
More than a detente. I mean, Silicon
Valley.
It
went from detente, now it's like this love fest. Jensen Huang was asked, he was like, why can the U.S. win the AI race? And he said, because of President Trump.
Well, if you go from the Biden administration, which was, and the left, which is Elizabeth Warren, an open, battling them every which way, even as AI and tech creeps into the crypto space. I mean, there's sort of overlap there. You know, you're gonna alienate these guys. They're gonna say, like, why am I giving you money? It reminds me of Goldman Sachs back in the day. Goldman Sachs gave heavily to Barack Obama in 2008, like wickedly, a lot of money. In 2012, when Romney ran, after they passed Dodd-Frank and screwed over their trading business, did a 180. It was all in for Romney.
Fool me once.
But so I think that's what you're seeing now. And Trump, to his credit, is embracing them. He's not attacking them.
Totally.
Right? He's not like beating up on...
He's very magnanimous.
He used to beat up on Jeff Bezos all the time, call him Jeff Bozo.
He did.
And look at what's happened at the Washington Post. Like, even that, because Trump is sort of much more free market oriented, the Washington Post, and Bezos understands, what the other side gave him and will give him. It's like, why is Bezos fighting free markets? He's actually now realigning his editorial page. It sounds like, the mission statement sounds like the Wall Street Journal's editorial page.
I know.
Free markets and free people.
There's been a mass exodus at WAPO, and I think it's going to have to continue if they want to enact that kind of vision. But it does, it was striking because the entire theme was patriotism and loyalty, and Donald Trump was saying,
so not much about
we need everyone to be joined.
Now,
obviously, Trump's speeches, they touched on AI, but it also touched on a lot of other things, like bombing Iran and all of the above. But
so he's talked about bombing Iran at an AI speech.
I mean, it's the weave. It was the weave. So we heard a lot. But it was very striking to hear Jensen Huang on stage, and Doug Burgum gets up there and was like, if you need help with energy, contact us.
Right?
He's obviously in the administration. But it was truly like a love fest. Like all the tech people were like, Trump is great. All the people in the admin were like, we're here to help. I think that can continue. I don't know. I don't know how long that can continue.
I don't. He's not adversarial. And I think when you go from adversarial to okay and better than okay, why change? I mean, these guys are not, unless they're stupid. I mean, they shouldn't be that stupid. This is an easy one. If you're a person that runs a business, that pays taxes, that is in favor of free markets, and you see the Democratic Party sort of embracing like Mondami, commie Mondami.
You got a shout out. Multiple people mentioned in New York they might have a communist.
It's
so
funny.
I think
what's funny about Mondami?
That's always in the background right now of like, oh God, things could be really bad. We should appreciate what we have now.
This is an interesting thing, I think, from a political standpoint that you mentioned. I think this whole notion that Mondami is a commie, if he wins, that could have real relevance in the midterms, that the Democratic Party actually has elected in a major office. It's not Durkatcher, right? It's not he's not running the Department of Transportation or in the New York City Department of Sanitation or something. He's running the whole city. That a guy that is radical on Israel, and some would say anti-Semitic, radical on economics, some would say communist, is embraced by the Democratic Party. Man, that's a hard one, man, for them to get over. And Trump's going to use it.
You have the carrot and the stick. So the GOP is like, we'll work with you, we want to help you, and then you have basically this fear of like a communist if he gets elected. Unclear. Charlie, you were a little late, I think I can reveal, to today because you were working on a big story about Curtis Sliwa, who's one of 4 in the New York City mayoral race, meeting with some top business leaders.
And number
today.
3.
Yeah.
I mean, the latest poll, let's be real clear here.
I'm saying he's one of 4, but yes,
okay,
he ranks number 3.
Let's just be real clear here.
Can you get rid of the hat? It's cringe. I'm sorry. I know it's his shtick, but
I know sartorial flair does not turn you on. Huh?
No.
But anyway,
it's image matters in a race. Let's be
listen,
real.
that's his trademark.
Yeah,
I've known Curtis, just so you know,
since the 90s.
How old are you?
If you had a trademark since the 90s,
how old were you in 1985?
No comment.
Okay.
But if you
Negative
had a
years.
shtick since the 1980s and you haven't changed it, that's a
Negative
problem.
years. I followed Curtis Sliwa around the subways as the editor of the Pace University newspaper. Forget about 1985. It was 1984.
Oh, wow.
And I followed him around.
Dystopian.
Yeah, and I followed him around. He's always been setting himself up to run for office. The Guardian Angels do provide an essential service, I believe, in this city. When you see an angel and you see Curtis, you know, you rest easy in certain areas, and particularly on subways. 4 years ago, he ran against Adams. He got 30% of the vote, so Adams trounced him, but still got 30% of the vote.
Yeah.
Now it's a little different. You have 4 years of corruption coming out of Adams. You have Andrew Cuomo losing to Mondami. Andrew brings his own baggage, and we don't have to litigate that. You know what it is, why he resigned from office, the nursing home stuff. Although
that's the thing. There's no surprises with Andrew Cuomo or Adams. Like, it's all in the open.
By the way,
Mondani, there could be some bombshells. We don't know.
I don't want to litigate everything about Andrew because I know a lot about it. The nursing home stuff, I think, is explainable. He's never been convicted of improper groping or whatever it was.
If there was something he could be convicted of, he would have been convicted by now.
I think you could say that he gave in to the left way too much. Bail reform did not frack. So those are problems.
But Curtis, the man of the hour.
And then you got Mondami. And we should point out that Mondami and Cuomo in the latest poll running even at about 24%, I think it was. Curtis is at 22, 23%.
Neck and neck.
He's ahead of Adams. So I wrote a column last week in the Post that said that the business community should take this guy serious. There is, in a 4-way race, a chance for him to win. Here are his business policies, which are very pro-business. And they were shutting him out. He couldn't, no one was calling him. He only raised $160,000 on Thursday.
He's been treated like a pariah.
On Thursday, finally, in the morning, he's got his shot. He met with Kathy Weil, invited him, the Republican state chairman, Ed Cox. I don't know how good it will do, but I think it would behoove them to take him serious in a 4-way race. He said that. You used that words. And by the way, he's not wearing his hat, he told me. Or what is it? Beret.
It's a beret. Yeah. It's a beret. Yeah.
It's kind of cool, right?
Do
French women wear berets still?
I think American women who are cosplaying that they're French do.
Okay.
But
you will never get Curtis mixed up with a French or an American.
No.
He's a pretty tough guy.
Okay, I will say this. I was kind of going down the rabbit hole about social media because everyone's talking about Mamdani and social media, and it looks like you're like FaceTiming with your friend, but somehow Wes Anderson directed it, and it's sepia toned, and it's very impressive. He's very clever. So
that makes you forget that he wants to socialize everything, globalize the Intifada, or won't condemn globalizing the Intifada.
It's such good TV that you forget. No,
you forget what a wacko he is.
I was surprised because I was looking on Instagram. He has 3.7 million followers, and like Adams, his mayoral account has like 1 million, but his personal account has like 100,000 something. And then it was on TikTok. Cuomo and Adams each have like around 10,000. Mamdani has over 1 million. Curtis Sliwa almost has 200,000 followers on TikTok. I was actually very surprised and impressed by his social media presence. He does the small following, but they're loyal.
Yeah, now here's the thing about Curtis. He's a really good campaigner. He's in the subways.
Yeah.
He's going to Brooklyn. He's going to various places, the Knights of Columbus. He's going there. Those are the traditional places. Obviously, New York City has changed since where traditional places matter. But
in the last 40 years.
Yeah, but he's on social media a lot.
Yeah.
And he's taken it to them. And I think here's the scenario where he could slip in. And like I said, I don't put a lot of money on this. I wouldn't bet my right arm or anything. But if you think about it...
Good, I'm glad you're not going to lose a limb.
There's a Reservoir Dogs scenario. Did you see the last scene of Reservoir Dogs? It's a great scene. It's Michael Madsen, who just died. I can't remember who else. It was 3 actors, all guns pointed to each other, and they all kill each other. Okay? That's literally the last scene of Reservoir Dogs. That's how Curtis kind of slips in. Mondami Cuomo, Adams beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
And he rises above it all and acts presidential or mayoral in this case, and kind of slips in. And, and he talks common sense about the subways, about crime, about cutting the educational bureaucracy, which, you know how much money we spend on education in this city and what little output we have, and nobody has tackled that. He will. So don't discount him. It's interesting. We're still in the early innings. He told me in the story that I wrote that if he wins the mayoral race, and you'll appreciate this, he'll get rid of the beret in the Gracie Mansion.
What about the cats? Is he going to bring his 16 cats to Gracie Mansion?
It's funny. He's running on a line, like the pro-cat line.
Oh my gosh.
No, he is. He's like, how they have these independent
Cats
lines?
have had too much of a presence in elections, right? You're eating the cats and dogs. J.D. Vance says you're a cat lady.
Trust me.
Now Curtis Sliwa.
Curtis
I'm ready to move on from cats.
Curtis is pro-cat. He's not eating the cats. He's not eating the dogs. But he has a line like it's an animal lover's line. I just think that's pretty funny. But you never know. That could get a few votes.
Who's showing up to this meeting with him? Is it Jamie Dimon? Is it Larry Fink?
Jamie Dimon's out of town, but he was out of town from Mondami. I did not
Convenient.
I did not check Fink. Brian Moynihan's out of town. Your friend David Solomon's out of town. I want to use this as a segue into Goldman, because there's another story I'm working on for the Post that all the banks are looking to do deals, even Goldman. Now, there's a lot of talk about Goldman, teaming up with Northern Trust. The Journal wrote that, I believe. I heard not happening. Just take that off. But they're going to buy probably a private credit firm. Citigroup is in the market for something. You could see them merge or team up with a European bank. People say that UBS, just after it had a bailout, Credit Suisse might look to increase its U.S. presence. So really look at U.S. banks. From what I understand, they're all talking. They're all looking to do deals. Why is that? Well, Trump regulators are finally pulling back. The Fed is finally pulling back, allowing these banks to do deals. So that's a big story. Goldman is going to do a deal. I hear it's not Northern Trust, by the way. Interesting.
I don't know that it's as open season as people think it is. I interviewed the head of antitrust for DOJ, Gail Slater, and she's tough.
It's more the Fed. The Fed is laying off them on their capital requirements that they used to press when you wanted to get bigger. Listen, I don't think a tech firm can buy a bank. I don't think Amazon can get any bigger. But these banks can do sort of interesting deals that don't totally
sort of intermarry.
They can intermarriage.
Yeah.
One more story that I have.
Okay, what is the final story?
David Ellison is telling people mid-August he gets the deal approved by Trump's regulators. That's his ability to buy Skydance. This is after the firing of Colbert. By the way, and here's one other thing.
Yeah.
Colbert would have been fired if no matter what. Apparently, the trajectory of his losses was going beyond 40 to 50 million. It was just never ending. So he was tostado no matter what. I know everybody's pissed off that they paid the settlement beforehand. Remember, Paramount paid the settlement to Trump over the disputed Kamala Harris interview. People thought it was a bribe. Be that as it may, Trump confirmed our reporting that in addition to the 60 million, there's going to be 20 million of public service ads that they're going to have pro-MAGA public service ads. But what's interesting about this is the deal's going to get done. Nobody's going to miss Colbert except for his loyal followers, because less and less people watch this stuff.
Yeah, it was
and when David Ellison gets this deal done, he's, by the way, bending over backwards to Trump. He sounds MAGA. He's like, I'm getting rid of DEI. No more quota. No, we'll do no more lefty bias news. He's not going to care about the news product.
I also bumped into Brendan Carr yesterday, actually.
He's a good guy.
And we were
I'm going to get in trouble by saying that.
We were chatting, and I mean, the irony that of all the people in the CBS Paramount world that you would go after for political reasons, it wouldn't be Colbert. You have Nora O'Donnell, Margaret. We were just laughing about it because it's clearly Colbert isn't the tip of the spear when it comes to being anti-MAGA.
Colbert is much worse than them. I mean, in terms of just rhetoric.
I don't agree. I think there's other more relevant people you could go after.
Nora O'Donnell doesn't say you to Trump. He said it. He says stuff like that every night. I couldn't believe he got away with that.
He loses money. I think
well, that's true too. But I can't believe that he got away with that. And to be honest with you, the rest of them are softer in their progressivism, and they're not going to be able to be that way going forward.